Good morning, it's Barbara. It is probably not super lovely outside, but I guess I'll go outside anyway. What the heck? Dennis is making me a cappuccino. Isn't he lovely? I think I'm gonna have to do something with my garden. I got a few thistles in my garden. We got a thistle growing up through the chairs, for heaven's sakes. This is our thistle patch. We were trying to fix that, and I think we've done a pretty good job. I don't know what Pearl's sniffing about. That's my mint. Isn't that going great? The whole thing is going to be mint soon. And I have 2 tomato plants that are thriving over there. I planted 4 tomato plants. They were all skinny little things. 2 of them had a tomato on it. Those 2 in the back corner. And I felt like having the tomato was stunting them because the other ones were doing so well. So I took the tomatoes off the plants and now the plants are just withering. So, lesson learned, don't buy a tomato plant with a tiny little tomato on it when the plant is really small. The thistles are really actually doing great. But anyway, Dennis thinks he saw a flower on one of my tomatoes. Johnny Bo is like making salsa with his tomatoes, and I don't even have a flower yet. Well, I planted them late and they were puny, so it's my own fault. But the plants, two of the plants are looking good, and my mint is going great. Dennis is going to try to make me mint jelly. I hope that works. I love lamb and mint jelly. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Dennis is the best. He's the best. Anyway, so no company today. The dogs are very bored already. Oh well. We had a very nice visit with Christy, although our visit was cut short by a day because she ended up having work to do at home before she left, so she left a day later than she expected, which cut off my time with her. And we didn't do anything with the deck. I had some idea that we could do something with this deck. But I'm just gonna have to do it myself or recognize the reality that it isn't happening this year. Oh well. That's good. So, well, I'm vlogged late yesterday, so what happened between then and now is not too much. I spun some, but not a ton. I could have shown you that, but it really wasn't very different than yesterday, but it was different. And I'm almost done with the book, which I'm going to finish today. So that's all that happened. This morning, it was one of those leisurely mornings. Dennis brought me coffee in bed and made me a cappuccino. I know, really. Sorry, girls, he's taken. So I sat in bed and read my phone and had a leisurely start to my day. And now I'm talking to you, having coffee. I'm going to finish my book. I did watch a little bit of the Tour de France while I was spinning, but it was on replay, and I should do what Kim does. And she, when she watches the replay, she just fast forwards, and I should have done that. But I only had about a half an hour of Tour de France in me last night, so I don't even know what happened. I am going to have to start fast forwarding. I didn't see any of the time trials. Those happened on Tuesday when I was visiting my family. And I never went back to see what happened. I guess I'm not as interested in the race these days, but I do enjoy it while it's on, but then, when I'm done, I'm done. It's okay, but I'm spinning. I was very encouraged by my visit with my try on of my sweater with Isabel. She really loved it, and she looked very excited about it, and that was so much fun. So I need to sit down and figure out that hood and get started going, because I'm almost done with the sweater, and then I have to practice duplicate stitch, so we shall see. But meanwhile, it's really easy to just spin for a while and feel like you're doing something. Oh, and the other night I worked on my granny square blanket for a while. Christy was working on a granny square. We went to Joann's when she was here. I guess we went on Monday, and she has this plan. I don't know if she talked about it on her floss tube, because I haven't watched it yet. But she has this idea. She's going to make one giant granny square for the front and one giant granny square for the back, and put them together and make them into a vest. So she started she wanted it open, you know, and comfortable, and she ended up getting a fingering weight bamboo yarn that was very pretty, but she was struggling in the beginning. She couldn't remember how to do the start of her granny squares from her project back in December, but she couldn't find the video of the way she liked to start it. So she was starting it in a way that was different than she had done before, that she didn't like. The yarn is slippery, and it was kind of splitty for her when you're doing that first little bit in the middle of a granny square. But she's a stubborn creature. I said, you know, we could always find different yarn. Anyway, she persevered and ended up making good progress, and once it got bigger, it was much easier, and she was liking it pretty well. I think by the time she left here, it was about this big. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm sure she talked about it on her floss tube, and we will see progress going forward on her floss tube, I'm sure. Anyway, so other than finishing my book and maybe working on Isabel's hood, I'm not sure about today. Well, I'll be spinning, I suspect. I'm not inclined to do very much else, I will admit. But the house got cleaned last week, so I don't feel too guilty about not doing too much. And then, of course, the usual daily, you know, take care of Aura stuff. So it'll be fine. I'll finish my book and yeah, and spin and maybe work on my knitting. So there you go. That's my plans for the day. It's going to be a riveting vlog tomorrow. Riveting. Oh, the other thing I have to do today is make a phone call, because we have not gotten a refund on our fridge yet. So we haven't reordered a new one yet. So I need to call Home Depot and talk to them and let them know that I will be putting in a complaint at PayPal for non-compliance and non-refund, and, you know, start that process. We only have so long to do that, and we want to make sure we're within the time limit, because we bought it, we, you know, paid for it through PayPal, so we'll take advantage of their you know, processes that's one of the reasons why you use PayPal, is so that you can dispute things with your pay. So unfortunately, I will probably be doing that sometime very soon. But meanwhile, I'll call them again. Oh, the sun just came out a little bit. That's fun. It's so much nicer when the sun's out. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.